Well, 2 points. One would be, I guess, a long-term reshaping of how we actually look at and envision what family really is supposed to be. Then the second is, besides this long-term reshaping or getting back to what traditional family really means from our perspective or our historical Islamic paradigm, then it would also be the importance of the role of community and remedial parenting, if I can use that word. So firstly, we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who preserved the character of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and instilled in him the best of characteristics, including manners. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for his character, and that was preserved. Keep in mind, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his father passed away before he was born. Okay, then who looked after him? His grandfather, Abdul Muttalib. His grandfather, who was the male role model, then passed away when he was very young. Then who stepped in? It was his uncle Abu Talib, who was seen as a noble within Quraysh and known predominantly for his generosity, even in Jahiliyyah, and not being a muwahid, not being a monotheist. At least that's the majority opinion, right? That he was not. He still nonetheless was a male influence. So there was a level of what we could say extended family that was understood. In Western societies, this kind of broke down when we've kind of adopted the nuclear family model away from the extended family. And then when the father is gone, then basically the mom or the mother is on her own trying to deal with raising these boys. And mothers are very important in the raising and the tarbiyah of boys, but a woman can never know how it is to live in this world as a man. She cannot teach him fully how to be a man, just as I cannot fully teach a woman how to be a woman. I've never lived in that experience. The disposition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us internally, though we have been created with noble fitra, noble intrinsic human nature, is not the same, right, as far as disposition. Even our brain development, like physiologically, is different between men and women, hormonal. The second point that I'll get to before you interject is the role of community. And I used to mention remedial parenting. This is where community comes in and mentorship, and why historically during the time of the Abbasiyin, when there were Futuwwah guilds in Iraq, and this has gone on throughout different Islamic civilizations. You can see this in West Africa, where there were elders who were given the responsibility within the community of almost being like surrogate fathers, and with help in the raising of these young males, and to be confidants and to help guide them. So even when the fathers were present, there was another type of father figure who would oversee not only some sort of religious tutelage, but in regards to the discipline and modeling and embodying what it means to be an upright, responsible man. And this is a community project. It's not just simply for individual households or families, but it even becomes more of a community obligation, or we can use the term fardun kifaya, when we have so many households of Muslims in which men are absent, whether the father died and children are orphans, whether it's a divorcee and the father just totally neglects his children, or the third thing is fathers are working so hard trying to make ends meet in the rat race of living in the West, and to make money just to feed the family and give them a house, especially with rising inflation and economy, that he's not even around. Maybe he's working 2 jobs, right? So then where's the male role model if the father is working and never in the home to even do any sort of tarbiyah with the sons?